Hey guys, I'm Oride, and in this video I'm going to attempt to beat Resident Evil 4 with the shotgun only. So the same rules apply as for my previous challenges. I would not be allowed to stun or kill enemies using any other weapon but the shotgun. However, I would be allowed to knife crates, barrels, and vases. I would also be allowed to upgrade the firepower of the shotgun, but only as upgrades are made available through the course of the game. Capacity upgrades are fair game though. Anywhere, anytime, it's all good, and that's because the enemies can take a hint. They keep dropping handgun ammo even though I so very clearly needed shotgun ammo. Plus there aren't a whole lot of preset locations for shotgun ammo in the game, so this is the only way I could at least stand a chance. I hope this challenge turns out better than the last one. Well, actually I already know how it turns out because this is a voiceover, but I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys. Unless of course you want to know the outcome right now, in which case feel free to skip to the end of this video. I know it can be hard to sit through longer videos sometimes, so it's cool. And so with all that said, let's get right into it.
Got some rare things on sale, stranger.
Now obviously this first Ganado needs to be killed so that we can make any progress, so I'm playing this on a new game plus so that I can get the shotgun from the very beginning. And by the way, this is the new game plus for my Punisher only challenge. As you can see, I only had an empty Punisher and 3 green herbs by the end of it, so that was pretty terrible. Anyway, I blow this guy's brains out and then I go ahead and grab the shotgun from this cabin. And this actually gave me quite a decent advantage because now I could get double the amount of ammo from capacity upgrades because 2 shotguns. And that meant that I could save the ammo in my inventory for darker times, which there were plenty of, unfortunately. So the first giant took 28 shots to defeat. I went in with both shotguns upgraded to a firepower of 5 and a capacity of 10. I reloaded an extra 10 shots from my inventory because I wanted to stretch my capacity upgrades for as long as I possibly could. And the reason for that is if I max out the capacity on one of my shotguns, I wouldn't be able to sell and rebuy it to get more capacity upgrades because the merchant won't sell you another shotgun if you already have one in your inventory. And I wanted to have 2 shotguns for as long as possible.
Believe it or not, it takes quite a lot of money to keep this church up and running.
Okay, on a side note, I just want to mention here that there's a lot of valuable treasure that Leon and Ada can pick up throughout the game. Leon alone picks up about 750,000 pitas worth of treasure, and who knows how much more treasure there is that they don't have access to. I'm pretty sure Sadler could get a good amount of money if he tried selling all that treasure instead of kidnapping Ashley and trying to extort money from her dad to get his church up and running. He could then just kidnap some random dude from the US, inject the plaga into them, and send them back. That way Leon wouldn't have been involved and Sadler might have actually stood a chance at world domination. Now at Louise's cabin, I just let him do all the work while I ran around trying not to get hit. And as generous as Louise is, he can't take a hint either because all he kept tossing at me was handgun ammo and grenades. But I guess it's the thought that counts. I then chose the path on the right since you can run past the giant without killing him. Unfortunately, that also meant that I had to skip over the shotgun ammo in the cabins to get out in one piece, so I was really hoping I wouldn't regret doing that later on, but I totally did. And finally, I made it to the big cheese. Now here's the part where I think I should mention that this is actually my second attempt at this challenge. In my first attempt, I said I wouldn't do firepower upgrades at all because I'm a masochist like that, and so I ended up running out of ammo even before the big cheese could split in half. This time, however, I had better luck, but not much better. I went in with both shotguns tuned up to a firepower of 5 and a capacity of 15. I still had to reload 40 shotgun shells to defeat him, which was exactly all I had in my inventory, so I wasn't off to a great start for the castle. Looking at this footage now, I'm extremely annoyed that I forgot to grab the shotgun shells from the support beam in the prison. There's actually a pack of 5 shotgun shells up there. The water room was a pain as usual, but I managed to get through without reloading from my inventory. I honestly wish we could just let Ashley get taken away here instead of watching out for her because she gets kidnapped anyway not 5 minutes after clearing the water room. The thing about the shotgun is that you never really get to do melee attacks with this weapon, in the sense that you can't shoot the Castle Rogue guys in the knees for example and then do a suplex on them because the shotgun blast always knocks them down. So basically, Speedy Goat Guy here took a few more shotgun shells than I wanted to part with. After that, I decided to try my luck and see if I could get any shotgun shells from these vases before heading to the gallery. But I didn't get any shotgun shells, and I think this guy knew that I wouldn't get any, which would explain why he was staring at me so intently. Probably wanted to bask in my disappointment. I then risked my life trying to get the shotgun shells from the garden maze. And unfortunately, I'd finally maxed out the capacities of both my shotguns by this point, so I had to bid farewell to one of them. My next hurdle was watching out for Ashley, again. I lucked out and only had to use one shotgun shell to free her from the restraints, but I did end up having to reload 18 shotgun shells from my inventory, which I obviously wasn't too happy about. Over here, I decided not to use the lanterns as usual since the lanterns aren't shotguns. And then I headed back to the free rocket launcher area with Ashley to grab the shotgun shells and of course the free rocket launcher itself. To sell, obviously, because upgrades are expensive. By the way, did you know that if you jump down from this bridge while Ashley's on it, she has a mini panic attack?
Where are you going, Leon? Where are you going, Leon? Where are you going, Leon?
Now I thought the night room would be pretty bad, but fortunately the firepower upgrade to 7 is made available at this point in the game. I did have to reload 13 shotgun shells from my inventory, but it could have been worse. The dual garrote were easy enough to deal with, and I obviously wasn't going to bother fighting Vertigo, so I just ran around until the elevator finally showed up. But this is where it started to go downhill. The dual giants are absolute bullet sponges. I dumped one of them into the lava pit as usual, but it wasn't enough. I didn't have the ammo to defeat the surviving giant, and I went in with 91 shotgun shells in my inventory. To add insult to injury, I know for a fact that you only get 15k from these giants, just like the ones you encounter in the village. Talk about not getting the bang for your buck. You expend over triple the amount of ammo on these guys than you do on their village counterparts, and you only get a measly 15 grand to show for it. But anyway, I had two choices here. I could either get a rocket launcher or I could get a striker and skip the fight entirely using the Ditman glitch. I went with the Ditman glitch. I'd like to think that using glitches in challenges falls into a gray area, but I don't really know. So after a little staring contest with this guy, it was finally time to deal with Salazar. Now this is the part where I really felt like a pro gamer. After a couple of tries, I eventually found a good spot where I could avoid the tentacles without having to deal with the QTEs, and I managed to beat him without taking any damage. In fact, I felt so good about this fight, I actually uploaded a standalone video of it because I really wanted someone to see my awesomeness here. Of course, the pro gamer moment didn't last long and there were much darker times ahead. But with that done, I finally made it to the island portion of the game. So on the island, there are 4 main obstacles: the Iron Maiden with the keycard, U3, Krauser, and Saddler. For the Iron Maiden, I upgraded the capacity of the shotgun to 18 and then reloaded a further 18 shells from my inventory. He took 34 shots to defeat at close range, plus the explosive canister. I was on the fence about using the canister, but I was really worried about not having enough ammo for the upcoming boss fight, so I went for it. U3 took out a good chunk of my ammo. I went in with 104 shotgun shells in my inventory and only had 45 shells left by the end of it. Almost all of my shots were at close range, plus I used both explosive barrels and it still took over 60 shots to defeat it. Oh, and by the way, remember when I said that the Salazar fight made me feel like a pro gamer? Well, Krauser made sure that that feeling didn't last long. So first of all, let me just say that it is entirely possible to beat Krauser with the shotgun only and have enough time to escape. How do I know this? Because a YouTuber called Math managed to beat Krauser with a non-upgraded shotgun with no damage and still had enough time to escape. How their video only has 107 views? I don't know. I'd expect something like this to have thousands of views. But anyway, the point is that I suck. So the best I could do was just 8 seconds left to get the hell out, even though I was using a fully upgraded shotgun. Add to the fact that I was so flustered that I even forgot how to quick turn, and yeah, I couldn't escape in time. Believe me when I say that I tried for at least 3 hours to get a better time, but 8 seconds is the best I could do, and I didn't have the time to keep trying. However, I wanted to be fair, so I calculated that I spent 14 shots on this part and 50 shots on the final showdown with Krauser, which also includes all the shots I missed in my best attempt. This would have left me with just 19 shots between my inventory and what's already loaded in my shotgun. But either way, I defeated Krauser with the knife, discarded all 64 shots plus all the health items I used in the entire fight with Krauser in my best attempt, and that left me with a pretty sad looking inventory, so I wasn't too hopeful about the fight with Sadler. The only reason for doing this is just to see if it's possible to beat Sadler's shotgun only had I been able to escape Krauser's explosives in time. I managed to get through the helicopter area and the area with the keycard on just the 4 shots left in my shotgun without reloading from my inventory, and with that done, it was finally time to face Sadler. So I went in with 33 shotgun shells in my inventory plus a fully loaded shotgun with a maxed out capacity of 18. I also got the special upgrade which allows the same amount of damage from all distances. Now I read online on GameFAQs that Sadler actually has an HP of 600. This meant that I would need 75 shotgun shells to kill him, which I obviously didn't have. But then I read that stabbing his eye with a knife every time he goes down does 25 damage. You always get 3 chances to shoot him in the eye except if he goes down because of the steel girders and the explosive barrels. In those cases, you only get 1 chance to shoot the eye. However, if you're fast, you can still get a chance to stab him in the eye before he gets up. Initially, I tried killing him shotgun only, which meant no eye stabbing, but that didn't work out. Ada didn't even show up with a special rocket launcher. That's how little damage I had done. So then I tried shooting the eye and going for a stab right before he got up. That actually got Ada to show up while I still had some shots left, so I unloaded all of them into Sadler's body since the eyes on his back legs are hard to reach, and I didn't really want to try since it was already established that I couldn't beat him without the knife. But it wasn't enough. I ran dry and had to finish him off with a special rocket launcher. So in the end, I finished with nothing but an empty shotgun in my inventory. That's even worse than my Punisher only challenge because at least I had 3 green herbs to spare at the end of that one. But anyway, that brings the question. Is it possible to beat Resident Evil 4 with the shotgun only? The answer is, I don't think so. There simply isn't enough ammo in the game. Even if I had started with a fully upgraded firepower of 8, I still don't think it would have been enough because the dual giants in the lava room would still take too much ammo. But if you skip them with the Ditman glitch, I think you might end up having just enough to beat Sadler. And like I said earlier, the Ditman glitch seems like a gray area. On one hand, it has remained in the game even after RE4 has been ported so many times and even after its HD makeover. But on the other hand, it's not something the devs intended to put in the game in the first place. Either way, I certainly wouldn't be able to beat the game shotgun only because Krauser. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll hopefully see you in the next one.